is ready to face the Indian Anmol Ramchandani. In terms of the DUPR rating, not much separating them. 5.49 for Anmol, 5.69 for Tom on the dynamic universal pickleball rating. And speaking of high ratings, high rankings, I have with me one of India's finest tennis players. Now, making moves on the pickleball court. Purav Raja is in the commentary booth. Welcome. How has this day looked to you?
Thanks for having me, Sarthak. It's a pleasure to be here. And it's great to watch another quarter-final match with another Indian. And I'm happy to be here. And Sarthak, thank you so much for hosting this so far. It's been great to listen to you.
Thank you so much. It's always a delight to have you join us in the commentary booth, and with the insight, the experience that you bring, it's just a wealth of knowledge for everyone. And I saw you watching Aryan Arman play closely. In terms of learnings, like Aryan won the first game, slipped away in the second and the third. Steal. And how he managed to mount that comeback. Deficit of 5-10 in the first game against Aditya Ruhela, wins that, loses the second, comes back in the third. What do you want to say about the Bhatia brothers?
You know, not long ago, we had a discussion with Aryan, which is the younger one, whether he was going to stay back or go back to college. And the discussion was that we thought he would be just as successful at pickleball. And I suspect, and everyone thinks that they are going to be the next big thing of pickleball. Arman obviously being number one already, you know, in many people's books in the country, and Aryan is definitely going to be there. Athletic-wise, I actually think the younger brother is better, but what a family they're producing, and, you know, that's what we need in pickleball. We need people like this. We need superstars. We need the Aditya Ruhelas. We need the Arman Bhatia, and they make us shine. And that's why, in this new sport, that's the reason that we are all here today.
What a rivalry it's turning out to be, and it's such a delight. And I said this time and time again, it was worthy of a final. You don't want to see these two boys in the quarter-final. Sadly, one of them had to bow out, and it was Aditya Ruhela this time. And now we have Chinmay with Tom and Anmol. Let's hear from them.
All right. Finally, the mic works on the first shot. I'm happy. Gentlemen, first of all, I'm so sorry you have to fill in the shoes of a game that was that high octane. You think you can match it up or do even better, mate?
I hope so.
Oh, that's too humble. Where are the pretentious people in this game? No, I'm only kidding. You're too sweet. Mate, again, last game, fantastic energy. We were clapping up there. Do you want to light this court on fire? If yes, how?
I mean, just want to play out a cracker. That's it. That's the only way to get the energy going, right?
This was probably, the last game was probably the first game of the evening where we saw animosity, a lot of celebration. Is that your style of play? Is that something you use in your arsenal to sort of intimidate him? Ulix doesn't look very intimidated right now, though.
No, not really. No.
How about you, buddy? I'm going to come to you since you're holding on your chin. What do you think of this guy? Easy work or it's going to be tough? And think about it before you speak.
Nothing's easy work out here, so it's great to be playing against him. Great respect for him, and I'm ready. I'm keen.
All right, this is what Willie said. He had a few words. He showed all the action on the court. I'll let you guys do it. Good luck. Have a great game. Good luck, broski.
Well, the standards have been raised so high by Aditya Ruhela and Arman Bhatia. Can Anmol match those high standards? Another Indian pickleball player on the rise, Purav. What do you make of Anmol Ramchandani's journey so far?
You know, being so young and practicing with him so often, we often play together in the same academy, and I think he has a future, just like Aryan. I think they're the next big things. When we talk about singles, I think you have to say Anmol Ramchandani and Aryan Bhatia are the future of pickleball on the Indian junior scene. And that's credit to him. This match, though, it's a match of his life. Can he really make it to the semi-finals of the open category and beat someone as experienced as Tom Evans? That's what I want to see.
Wealth of experience indeed for Tom Evans, and Anmol has to play the pickleball of his life. It's not going to be easy. Has he done enough in the lead up? Has he prepped? Has he done the homework? We'll have to see. We'll wait and watch as the chief referee, Byron, with the necessary instructions before this one starts. But again, when you see the previous quarterfinal, Purav, brings this big question. With such high standards, how would you compare Aditya and Arman to the world standards of pickleball?
That's a very good question, Sarthak. I think that when it comes to pickleball, India is very close to the top of the world map. And we are very, very close to the top. I mean, we see guys like Dusty Boyer here. Dusty Boyer played 11-9, 11-9 against Ben Johns. We're talking about some people here who are going to be world beaters of pickleball. Arman and Aditya are no different. They are going to be the world beaters of pickleball in the future. If we can maintain this level of pickleball, that's the future.
Wow. Coming from someone who's played Davis Cup for India, brought so much pride to the country in the world of doubles. And you've had so much experience playing on this center court, Purav, at the R.K. Khanna Tennis Stadium. And of course, you've played alongside Arman quite a bit. You know how much he trains, and it's showing. It's showing in his results. He said he took a week off. Was that a wise move?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this guy has trained so hard. Pickleball looks so easy on TV. Everybody thinks that you can play pickleball, and it's so easy. Everybody says, oh, I can play singles, and, you know, it's an easy transition. Well, guess what? It's very, very difficult on the court. It's a plastic ball. The ball barely bounces. Your movement is extreme, and singles is very, very hard on the body. It's extremely difficult, and I want to make anybody who thinks it's easy should really come and try this game. It's immensely fun, but it's immensely difficult.
That's what I've heard from everyone, young, old, male, female. They love the sport, the inclusivity, the easiness, the entry-level barrier being so easy to enter. But the fact that you cannot master it, it's going to take so many years to really master.
Very easy to get good at. Very tough to get great. It's very easy to play pickleball. It's very, very tough to be great at pickleball. And now we see some action with Anmol Ramchandani taking Tom Evans in the first game.
Here we go.
In pickleball, they do warm up the serve quite a bit, Sarthak. So this is the warm-up of the serve. A lot of the similar rallies. So much depends on the serve and the return. And that's what is interesting to see. In tennis, when you kick a serve, you play the point. And funnily enough, this is the court that a lot of tennis players have been blessed to play on, and now it's a pickleball court, Sarthak.
Interestingly, Arman Bhatia said he's had some of the best memories and the worst memories as well on this very court when it comes to his tennis career.
Yeah, we all have. I think we all have had some great memories. I mean, I played my first Davis Cup on this court in 2013. Little did I know I'm going to come back with no hair and a big beard and come back on the same court 11 years later.
And we can't wait to see you in action when it comes to your doubles contest tomorrow. You play your first one?
Yeah, tomorrow morning, and hopefully, you know, just learning the sport. And it's so interesting to see, you know, different people come from different areas, different racket sports coming through and making an impact now. All of them getting together. I see people from squash, table tennis, badminton, tennis. All of them come together to play this new sport called pickleball. And I can guarantee you it is the future.
It is indeed. It is making waves. Born in the USA, I think it's being raised in India, because after America, it's growing the most as per the stats in India. Most participants, and that speaks volumes. And with the population, a 140 crore population here, that's a massive shout out to also to the Times Group for the kind of platforms they're creating with the PWR World Tour in Dubai in July, and now the PWR DUPR India Masters, and what a lineup we have ahead of us.
You want to tell me where the ball boys are?
The last time that I played on this court, there was barely anyone. There was never a challenge system. This whole setup has just been created for pickleball, and it's just amazing to see that we can grow as a country and we can grow as a nation.
Gentlemen, game on time in 0-0.
That serve did look out. And interestingly, that's the last thing you want to see in pickleball. An error on the serve.
It happens a lot. So much is the serve and return. So much of it, like you see Anmol hit a great serve there. If you don't get a deep serve and you don't return deep, the point's pretty much done. Very different in tennis where the ball rises. If the ball is short, it's very easy to strike. Remember, it's a much smaller court and a plastic ball. So a lot of it depends on the serve and the return.
Side out.
Anmol Ramchandani with a break of serve there. He's opened his account. Now Tom
0-1.
Evans has the opportunity. A reminder, you can only win points on your own serve.
Point.
An example of it right there. Tom Evans gets the point because he's been serving there.
1-1. It's out. Side out.
I can tell you, he was very tight in that
1-1.
first match. He won it 15-13 against Jay Gurwal. Very tough match, and he admitted he was very tight. This is the biggest match of Anmol Ramchandani's
Side
career,
out.
and that's a lot from a 17-year-old boy.
And indeed, he can
1-1.
draw inspiration from the Indians that just left the court when he looks up to Aditya and Arman.
Point.
There's so much to learn. But what a good forehand cross court that was, kissing the net tape. And this is where the dominance of Tom Evans can show.
That drive and that third shot. You've seen
2-1.
so many singles players just dominate with the serve and the drive. Tomorrow in the doubles, that'll be a different story. The rallies are much longer. The athleticism is much less, but you're also, you know, in a lot of cat and mouse rallies, and that's the example of a cat and mouse rally. There'll be a lot of dinks, there'll be a lot of fast hands, but this athleticism you never see, and that's only in the singles level that you really see. As you go higher, these guys are great athletes.
And interestingly, you bring up the topic of drives, dinks.
1-2.
I want to know from you, because the last time I was in Delhi, I remember going to a pickleball court and I saw a lot of dinks about 11 months back. And now it's evolved so much. I see so many drives. Tell us more about this.
I think it's a lot to do with technology. I think the rackets are getting more powerful. The game is getting more powerful. The courts are getting much more even. It's a lot easier to drive than it used to be. The rackets are just so much better now, Sarthak. It's such a new sport. Than 11 months ago, it's such a new sport. And every time you play, every 3 months, there's a new racket coming out. There's a new technology coming out. There's lead tape now. There's new grips on the market. And it's just producing, similar to tennis. When tennis got Babolat, the game changed. And, you know, and that's similar to what's happening in pickleball.
Amazing insights from the man himself. So good to know all. There's so much to learn for everyone who's new to the sport, and how much it is evolving every day. Every single day, the evolution of this wonderful sport is visible.
You know, the way I see it, Sarthak, the most played sport in rural India today is badminton. I think pickleball can be the new badminton. And I say that with immense knowledge by saying that I see this sport as picking up. This is the sport, mass sport of India. I see this, if we can produce equipment that's reasonably priced, I don't see a reason why pickleball can't pick up just as much, and we can't make world champions on a very high level. Don't forget, we are not a sporting nation. We are not a nation that keeps producing tennis superstars. We are a nation that is very lucky to have what we have, and unfortunately, we are at the economic level that we are. We need to have more sports like this. This is a sport that anybody can play, and for rural India, for the lower economic groups, this is what we need. We need a sport like cricket to be a racket sport as well.
Side out.
So much to note down, to absorb all these, you know, pearls of wisdom from your end. In essence, you know, you want to see India grow. You want to see this sport, the players, the Indian athletes make a difference on the global level.
3-2.
A little bit about you, Sarthak. What do you see of this sport? Are you of the similar belief? Are you of the similar mindset that we are going to pick up and this sport is going to grow? Obviously, we do have players from different parts of the world coming together in this event, and we will have even more global superstars coming here. But in terms of India, do you see this sport also as the future, as I see it?
5-2.
Interestingly, an Australian and an American met me earlier this morning. I'm speaking of the best Aussie, Emilia Schmidt, and someone who's very popular, known as the Pickleball, Caitlin Kerr from America. Both of them told me they haven't seen something like this in their own countries in terms of a platform, something in giving an opportunity at such a massive level. The PWR ranking point 700, valid for 52 weeks, and the infrastructure that's been created here. They haven't seen such a large stadium. So Caitlin Kerr told me this is the largest pickleball stadium she's seen across her career. So in terms of what India is doing to create a platform for its athletes, remarkable. And when you have global athletes coming in, you're competing with the best in the world. So you're obviously going to raise your level, and that is so good. And kudos, shout-outs to Pickleball World Rankings, to Mr. Pranav Kohli, to the Times Group, to Mr. Vineet Jain for putting all this together. The future of pickleball is very, very bright in this country.
Yes, and well said. I think that we are at a juncture where we can have pickleball as, you know, to enhance other racket sports. Everybody asks me why, you know, will it affect
Receiver,
tennis?
one
Will it
timeout,
affect
server,
squash?
two
I don't think it
timeouts.
will affect
Time
any
in.
sport. I think it can enhance all sports. It will make more people play a racket sport. More people can choose what they want to play. And more
6-2.
people will hold a racket in their hand, which is what we want. Who knows what sport they're playing? But every sport, did 2020 affect cricket? No, it made it much better. Cricket is better today because of the 2020 format. And everybody thought it would affect the test cricket. It would affect one-day cricket. It hasn't.
Wonderful shot that from Tom Evans. And such a beautiful point you touch upon there, Purav. Adding to that, your good friend, Mr. Andy Murray, an Olympic gold medalist, Wimbledon champion, said something on the very similar lines. He said, let's celebrate the growth of racket sports instead of debating tennis versus pickleball versus paddle. Let's be happy that racket sports in the world is growing massively.
Yes, and I think because these sports are growing, these are sports that are very easy to play, Sarthak. Let's not forget, tennis, squash, paddle, these are tough sports to play. Badminton, pickleball, easy to play. Table tennis, easy to play. These are the sports that can enhance our sports. Hopefully, we have racket sports heroes just like America in every sport. And we have, you know, like England, and we have an immense array of different sports and different sporting superstars. That's what will make us a sporting nation.
And just adding to that, the great Andre Agassi, who will be in India very soon to kickstart the PWR DUPR India League. In a span of a single day during the US Open, you saw him on a tennis court, you saw him on a pickleball court. He is promoting both sports. He loves the pickleball courts. He's always all for this. Andy Roddick, John McEnroe, Maria Sharapova, Steffi Graf. When you have the all-time legends promoting this sport, isn't that a great way to collaborate and move forward?
And once you play it, you'll know exactly why everybody says, oh, this sport is not viewer-friendly. Well, guess what? Golf wasn't very viewer-friendly when it first started, but the people who love playing it will make it viewer-friendly. I remember they said snooker is not viewer-friendly. Darts wasn't viewer-friendly. Guess what? We made it viewer-friendly. The people who play pickleball love to watch pickleball, and that's what is important. How many people can we get to play this sport and eventually become the avid watchers of the game?
Such a massive point that when you truly enjoy playing a sport, you would want to watch it, and which is what we're seeing. Every pickleball court in Mumbai is full. You are not getting court bookings. The same is what I've heard here in Delhi. So that speaks volumes about how much people are falling in love with this. And the no age barrier, the fact that you can be 3 or 80, the long lifespan this sport has. And the community that it builds, the family bonding that it creates. Like Jamie Murray, Andy Murray's brother, said that he can play pickleball or paddle with his father, unlike lawn tennis. So you see families coming on the courts now. You see them bonding over a sport like this.
dink rally, Sarthak. Just for you, just when you saw it. This is what pickleball is about. It's a bit of cat and mouse for you. The game has just evolved. It is a drive game, but it's also a lot about this movement. And often you don't see this, but this athleticism to get to these different balls is just immense. And we don't see it often. People think it's easy. It's very, very difficult to split into corners and to do what these boys are doing. Is something that you can only dream of.
The nerves this 17-year-old is showing. The teenager shining on championship court, at least so far, doesn't look intimidated by Evans.
You know, he's played a few quarterfinals. He puts up a good fight every time he does play. He is young, but let's not forget, this sport is new. They get very few opportunities right now in this sport. Anmol Ramchandani barely plays 7 tournaments a year. When he does play, it's very important to shine. And, you know, other people, Tom Evans, we talk about Dusty Boye, we talk about, you know, people who play regularly on the PPA tour. They play 40 weeks a year. They don't need to shine at this level. But when you play 7 tournaments like Ramchandani does, it's very important that he produces a result on his home turf to be the next superstar of India and to be the next future of pickleball in a sport that we've already talked about is going to be supremely popular.
Side out.
Massive point that in comparison to the athletes competing on the PPA tour, 7 versus 40 weeks. That's a huge difference.
And let's not forget who's the favorite. Tom Evans is the favorite here. So that's the reason why. Because he plays every week. And we are very new as a nation, and it's credit that we're producing these tournaments. We need to produce 30 of these tournaments if we're going to build world superstars. We need to produce leagues every week. We need to be in and out of the system. We need to be leaders of world pickleball. It's not a surprise that we're number 1 in the world at cricket. We have 40 tournaments a year of cricket. Everybody plays different cricket leagues. We have millions of cricket leagues. Everything is popular. Until we make it a lifestyle, we cannot expect world champions.
Point.
Words of wisdom indeed. And we're certainly heading in the right direction with pickleball. No doubt about it. The growth with the massive rise every single day. And you will see the crowds pouring in on the weekend. We've seen that
4-9.
whenever we've had tournaments across the weekends. Slowly, steadily, crowds fill in.
Side out.
Pickle and chill, Sarthak. Get the drinks ready, and everybody rolls in on a Saturday night to watch pickleball. People love the concept in the US, you know, of such a social game. Everybody plays it. Everybody can play it at some level or the other. It's easy sports to play. And of course, they want to have this social element to it, which is great, which is the future. I mean, this is the sport where, you know, we can all get together and have a party as well as be competitive.
4-9.
Just that vibe that this sport brings. You can really enjoy yourself. And what an angle that from Anmol on the backhand cross court. Still a solid 4-point lead, but now on his serve,
5-9.
can he win a few? At the least. Nice flat serve, increasing the pace. What do you make of that one?
You know, pickleball is such a momentum game that once you get into the lead and once you get into, into a scoreline of 9-4 like Tom Evans was up and you lose serve, you suddenly feel like the match is even again. And that's very different to tennis because if you're 4-love, it becomes 4-1 and then you suddenly have your serve again. But here, the serve is maintained with Ramchandani now, which is, you know, he's the only one that can win this point. So there you go. And that's a momentum game. And that's how it works. The momentum has shifted it from 4-9 to now 7-9, becoming so competitive in the first game when he thought Tom Evans was running away with it.
Indeed, and that's what we saw in the Arman Aditya first game as well. 10-5, 11-10 in favor of Arman there. He was trailing. Wow.
Point.
And this is what I mean. He had nothing to lose. He came to the party thinking it's 4-9, let's get ready for the second game. Tom Evans lost a bit of momentum, and guess what? It's 8-9 in the first game of the 4th quarterfinal.
The dinks come into play there.
He missed that by an absolute whisker. That was just the momentum. They're tired. Let's not forget they've played the best part of 7 matches already today. They had 5 people in the group. They had to play a round of 32. They had to play a round of 16. This is their 7th match of the day. And they're here. And they have to play 8 if they're going to make it to Championship Sunday. That's how tough the sport is. Let's not forget, in tennis, we play a match and we come back the next day and play our next match. He's played 7 matches today. He's been on court pretty much all day. And he's moving quite a bit.
Speaks volumes about the fitness levels at this pro level. I mean, when you want to play a mature pickleball, it might be easier.
And he doesn't have biceps like yours, Sarthak. And he doesn't have your biceps either. So he has to strike every ball as hard as he can, this young 17-year-old boy.
He has the legs. He has all the endurance, and it is showing. I mean, we're seeing them on championship court, but like you mentioned, the hustle has been all day long, and the hustle continues in the next 3 days if you want to go all the way. And that's the level that's needed. And this is what they do week in, week out. If you want to be a pickleball pro.
Ooh, he's missed that. That third ball just becomes so crucial. Will Anmol drop the third ball, or will he drive the third ball? If you want to get into a cat and mouse rally, you drop the third ball. If you want to drive through the opponent and you see a gap, that leads to a passing shot, and that leads to a more power rally. The server generally decides. Returner's job, get the job deep, get to the net, and let's win this point. Let's not forget. Wow! Anmol's got it back to 9-all. And that's a bit of that. He had the drive and the cat and mouse in there. So he has a solid tactic, a great game plan.
How good was that backhand? The fist pump, and 9 apiece against someone like Tom Evans for this 17-year-old. It's not easy playing with those glasses. How is he managing with all the sweat?
Need a lenses sponsor. Somebody give him some lenses. He needs that. He needs that quick, because you know the way that he's playing right now, he's seeing the ball so big.
Indeed, seeing it like a football at the moment, and he's 1 point away from winning this first game. Arman Bhatia, who better than him to share some strategic advice?
Let's not forget, Sarthak, they're all part of the Blaze Pickleball Academy. All these young boys train so hard every day, and they come together for 3 or 4 hours every day, and there's a group of 20 of them who come along and make it. Obviously headed by Harsh Mehta and Arman Bhatia, who are the #1 team in the country in the doubles circuit. Also mentoring a lot of players. And it's credit to them that Arman, of course, already in the semi-finals. Can we have Ramchandani in a semi-final? And then there'll be 2 Indians out of 4.
And indeed, it can be history created here in the national capital for the Indians. And 2 Indians in the commentary booth as well. Alongside me, Sarthak, I have Indian Davis Cupper, Purav Raja, who's now transitioned to pickleball as well. And pearls of wisdom from him in the commentary booth for all of us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Who thought I'd be here for a pickleball tournament after having, you know, played so many matches in this
17 years on the tennis tour.
In this iconic venue, I must say. But, you know, it's a pleasure, and I'm happy to see it so lively. I mean, all these stalls all over the place, the way the tournament's done. And the most lively guy right now is on set point, Ramchandani, 10-9.
Here we go. Anmol Ramchandani now 1 point away from closing this first game on his own serve. Nerves.
Dropped that one. And yes, it is nerves, because he ran into the net before he completed the shot. Complete your shot, then go to the net. Let's not forget how many balls are passed here. It's very few. Very tough to hit a passing shot. And that's why the returner often runs to the net. Easier to win the point on return than on serve. But guess what? You only get points for winning your point on serve. So you have to take more chances when you are on serve. And 10-9, Ramchandani serving again. Second set point. And they know it. Tom Evans has been here a lot more times than Ramchandani, I can tell you that. He knows how to play these big moments. He's got the higher DUPR rating. He's played these tournaments time and again. Ramchandani, though, he's come to life after that 9-4. 6 points on the trot. Just needs one more for the first set.
Tom Evans now with his serve, taking his time. Chief Referee Byron has signaled, oh, he wants that towel moved. And here we go then.
9-10. Here goes out. Side out.
Since that long 10 apiece. In fact, it's still 9-10. You don't win a point when you break. So Anmol has an opportunity to close this on his own serve.
1 minute.
Wow, that's a very brave timeout after winning the point. Arman suggests to take the timeout. Take your time. We realize that in these big moments, the youngster might be under some pressure. So let's plan this point. Let's play it properly. What do you think, Sarthak? I think the plan has to be to try and drive through this ball. He loves that forehand down the line. If he gets a forehand, I suspect he's going to drive that down the line.
Hold on.
Like you rightly pointed out, the fact that they took the time out, listening to Arman, the respect he has for Arman, of course, Arman himself also a coach.
9-10.
So that's a great time to go for that because the nerves maximum. We speak of this often when we commentate on the slams. The pressure of closing out a set or a match is massive. So you would know that better than anyone else. Is this the same?
Yes, absolutely the same. It's 10-9. And all of a sudden, you're playing 1 point. And if you don't win that point, guess what? You're not the favorite anymore to win that set. That's very different even to tennis. Because at 5-4, when I'm serving for it, worst case scenario, it's going to be even. But here, I could lose the set. And this is the serve. The serve has to be, oh yes, it is long. But the serve has to be under waist height. One of the rules has to come from a down to up motion. The second rule. And there's so much of new addition to the pickleball rule. Is that serve under waist height? That's the first thing. Was it a legal serve? I think it was. It was just under waist height. Second thing, was it in? And my answer to that is no, it wasn't. I think it was long. The serve was long.
So we are waiting referee Byron's decision as he looks on at the screen from center court. We're sure it was long. There's no doubt about it.
Sure, the serve was long. Was it legal? And you know, this is such an evolving rule these days with so many different players. I mean, Kwang Dong, for one, known for such a big serve and big forehand. And we miss him here. But, you know, he's one of the guys who's legal-wise, he's always testing the boundaries of legality. And that waist is just so, it's just such a debatable area of pickleball.
You just lost video challenge.
And 10-9, Ramchandani with his first or third set point. And now he has one where he kind of has to make this one count, right, Sarthak?
10-9.
Totally. Here we go. Anmol now with his serve. He gets it. That come on, that roar, everyone in his box on their feet. Arman Bhatia loves that. And what a story this is for the 17-year-old. Another Indian shining in the quarterfinals on the biggest of stages at the PWR DUPR India Masters. This is a remarkable performance against a mighty opponent in Tom Evans. Can he now go all the way? That's the big question as we wait for the second game to commence here.
I see it getting really big. I see it growing a lot. It's so much more engaging to watch than tennis.
Was that they were people who didn't love every other sport and they'd finally found a sport that they loved.
I think this is just the beginning, and I think it's going to be one of the biggest sports in the world.
Game 2, time in 0-0. Point.
Right, back we are. What an entertaining game. A seasoned player like Tom,
1-0.
and he's being made to work hard for every point. Beauty of pickleball. No David is David, no Goliath is Goliath. There's no black or white, it's all grey, and it's also all fun.
0-2.
Well, you can see from the last game, the energy has slightly gone down, but that's not because the game isn't intense enough. I think it's because instead of points happening on the serve, a lot of breaks are being seen, which means even though the game is moving, the scorecard isn't really moving. As we see Tom sliding, trying his best to get to that ball, but comes in second best to gravity.
0-2.
Nobody messes with gravity. Unless you're Christopher Nolan. Oh my God. Post 7:30, my jokes go to hell. I'm sorry.
Side out.
But again, yet another point I had made a little while ago is how a lack of a ball boy in this sport actually increases the camaraderie, because even though you've lost the point, you might be angry, you might have made a gesture to the opponent, but you're still the one passing the ball back, and it's always better when you do it with a smile, isn't it? Especially in a game where tides and fortunes can change literally in seconds. So always good to give the opponent your good side. That's not a school of thought I come by. I've always been a little more gung-ho sort of approach to the way I play sport, but then again, I'm not the pro athlete here fighting for $50,000 in prize pool money.
2-0.
And another big shout out to all the athletes who've shown up here today. 750 of them who've been here. I was here at 8:30 in the morning, and they were warming up, playing the game since before that. And right now I took a quick break, went to see the other courts and what's happening there, and it's still hustling and bustling, which just shows the passion and love for the sport and it's just beginning. So trust me when I say pickleball ain't going anywhere. Slapped across the face off the court by Tom there. Really trying to stamp his authority on this particular set. It's not easy. Look, honestly, especially when you have a lot of crowd support for the home favorite, for the local boy here. Good backhand shot. Good backhand shot. Didn't go across the court. In fact, more linear.
Freezer.
Yeah, that's something that I've realized by watching this game is you don't try much of trying to lure the opponent, because the size of the court isn't too big, so you can't go too high above him or her rather, and you're made to pay as we saw there. 4-0 or 4-0 rather. Fantastically to have, especially when you're a game down. It's a happy place for Tom right now, but like I said, everything can change in a matter of minutes. I think especially with the men's category, we've seen that time and time again.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Well, the show must go on and so must the game. Battles have been picked up.
Receiver, you have one
And we're
timeout.
back at
Server,
it.
2 timeouts. Time in.
Two athletes who don't want to
4-0.
quit, just don't have that die in them. And finally, a little bit of animosity, a little bit of excitement from Evans. He's really been embarrassed in the first game. Somebody who plays very regularly, as pointed out before, being humbled by a local boy.
5-0.
So only time will tell if experience is better than something in India that we call Jaspa, which translates to passion. And trust me, if you're a Virat Kohli fan, if you're a Ronaldo fan, you know what passion can do. But then again, it's also backed with immense talent that we know both these players have.
6-0.
Now it's just a question of it's a game of cat and mouse. It's a question of who survives longer, plays it cool, but also as aggressively as possible. I know it's an oxymoron, well, I can't really justify what I said because I truly believe that there's no black and white in sport. It's all grey, so you can be hot and cold at the same time. As we see Byron being attacked by a few creepy crawlies there, did well to fend them off. Another good part about the sport is you can hit the ball as hard as you want in the crowd, and I promise you, unless you're an ant and a very small one at that, there'll be no collateral damage.
Timeout. Timeout, receiver. 9-0. 1 minute.
I see it getting really big. I see it growing a lot. It's so much more engaging to watch than tennis.
Was that they were people who didn't love every other sport, and they'd finally found a sport that they loved. I think.
Brilliant shot there. Well, as the day has progressed, I somehow feel so has the quality of the sport. Just great to see two athletes in the nippiness of the Delhi weather, going gung-ho, going all guns blazing, not holding back because they know what's at stake. Said it once, I'll say it again. It's a semi-final sport. Everyone wants to be there. Everyone wants to play hard. Everyone wants that little bit of glory, whether you're shy, smart, happy, sad. Everyone likes their 2 minutes of fame, and especially when you put as much effort as these guys have. Trust me, I've been super humble, super excited, super privileged to bring all of this to you. So has Sarthak, my co-host, my co-commentator. We've really enjoyed this. And especially as someone who's new to the sport, I'm truly humbled by how fun it is, the sense of community it brings. Absolutely fantastic. We can see not many sports. In fact, I cannot think of one, and trust me, I love my sports. I cannot think of one new sport that's come in and has been loved and revered so quickly, so much. And you can see the fans starting to pack up the rafters. And this is a weekday, mind you. It's a working day, and there are people still showing up. So it's really nice to see. You know, just a sense of community, a sense of happiness, people smiling, regardless of who wins, whether your friend is won or lost, your brother, sister, mother. It's one free for all, and well, it's only getting better and better every day. Well, I had someone ask me about 20 minutes ago, what's been my favorite game of the day? Wow, it's tough. But look, in the women there were some great games. I think Pei came in very strong, set the template for the day. And in the men's, I think every game has just kept getting better. We've seen 5-0 leads, trash to nothing, games being turned around.
All right.
Arman has been someone who's looked fantastic
points.
today.
Time in 0-0.
Sophia and the women's again pay. So a lot of golden boys coming out of this sport already. A lot of golden girls coming out of the sport already. And well, you've got one smiling commentator in the box, and then two the moment Sarthak comes back.
Point.
Well, as I was talking, I slightly let go of the fact that the third set is now begun, which is the decider. Which means Evans fought hard to come back. And he's still fighting hard. You can see a little bit of eye contact. He's a little upset. Feels it was in. Feels he's been robbed of a point there. Well, he does have a review, I believe. So here, we can have a better look. Ooh, stuff.
1-0.
Yeah, I lose my bit sometimes. Well, ooh, an E. Well, that comes with me. It's just got my baggage, but there we go. I think they have they taken a review or just a break? Either ways, it's it is a review. Keep your eyes closely on that line. Tough to tell from this angle, really tough. I wouldn't like to be in the umpire's position here or the person who's going to call this, purely because this angle seems a little difficult. Might need another angle to verify exactly what went down, literally. But yes, I'm sure through the next 4 days there will be a lot of sights and visuals of what has been set up, how it's been set up, and what exactly has gone down to make such a beautiful tournament happen. And trust me, one part of it is because I'm part of it associated, and the other one is the fact that I'm truly a fan. I've been walking around, enjoying the sights and sounds. So I think overall,
0-1.
definitely something I'm going to continue when I go back home to Mumbai.
Point.
Right, Evans, just like a peacock, letting his feathers up now, showing his true colors, proving to be dangerous for Mr. Ramchandani, who's put in so much of an effort. We heard doesn't play too many tournaments, unlike Evans does, but is here to prove his point. He certainly has stamped his authority as a serious player. But it always helps if you can make it to another round, which happens to be the semi-finals, which means you then have a chance to be in the top 3 in the tournament. Ooh, he won't be happy with that. Nicked it top edge. I know the cricketing terms, but even on that paddle, he'd definitely be upset with that last shot.
2-1.
Silky smooth.
Side out.
But not so silky since it hit the silky net on the way to the other side.
One, two.
Good top hand serve, generating a lot of pace off the bounce. Top spin is something pickleball players use quite a bit, as opposed to slicing it, which is used quite a bit in table tennis. It's probably because of the size of the court, probably more effective to top spin it rather than slice it.
2-1.
Fog and moisture on Mr. Ramchandani's eyewear, which he's taken care of, but unfortunately couldn't take care of that point.
3-1.
Up in the air, over the sky. Oh my! Has the answer for it, did Evans, as he slapped that one with some hard authority. Boom, bam, or whatever other Batman type 4-letter word you would like to use. Looked pow. That's it.
Yep. There's a challenge on the out call.
Right, we're checking in
4-1.
on a call. I'd love to see what Biden has written through the day in his notes, but that later. Have a look now at this review. And let's see where the ball's landed. Let's see if your eyesight is better than mine. I'm going to call it based on what I see, and look carefully at the line and the ball. Oh, it's well in. It's well in. I mean, that's not even up for contention. And luckily with the floodlights, you can even see the shadow.
Well in. The ball is good.
Evans
Side out.
with the serve.
Four one. Point.
Evans slowly running away with this one.
5-1. Side out.
Just as I said that. Serve has been broken.
One five.
Well, it's really smooth to see how he hits his shot and then comes straight back in. Very, very smooth in almost one motion.
5-1.
Like I said, every point in the last set means so much more. People make smaller mistakes and suffer more. The pressure is intense, especially when it's a decider. And this is not the place you would want to be, is in a deficit of 4 points
1-5.
with the entire result based on this last game.
Side out. Five one. Side out. One five. Point. Two five.
Deficit now down to 3 points.
Side out.
It's always good to see a mutual sense of respect. Both players, one player apologizing, the other acknowledging instantly. Good to see. But like I said, all of that are side dishes. The main course is the result. And the cherry on the top is if you can do it in 2 sets. We saw all of the girls finish their games off in 2 sets.
5-2. Point. Timeout. Changes. 6-2. 1 minute. Fifteen seconds.
And we're back to live action. 6-2
Timing.
in the final, in the decider.
6-2.
Evans finally, like I said, like a peacock, finally showing his true colors. His feathers are out. He wants to leave nothing to chance rather.
Side out.
Somebody who plays rather regularly in multiple tournaments, taking on
2-6.
David of Pickleball.
Side out. Six two.
As the day has progressed, there's been a lot that has put Biden to the test, and he's stood firm in all of them. He's been humble to agree when he's faltered, but most of the times, I can guarantee you he's been bang on.
And so similar this contest in comparison to the Aryan Bhatia match up against Dusty Boyer. He won the first game, Aryan there. You had an opportunity in the second, let that slip away, went to a decider and eventually bowed out. Anmol Ramchandani played the pickleball of his life to win the first one here. Loses the second game and now not looking good for him in the decider.
I overheard you guys talking about the consistency of Evans playing multiple tournaments as opposed to Ramchandani, and it's very visible now in the squeaky bum time of the game where everything counts. He's faltered a little bit.
But you really need to appreciate and applaud a 17-year-old here, Anmol, with the facts that Pura pointed out. He's playing 7 tournaments a year here. And when you compare it with the PPA Tour, you have about 40 tournaments. You're playing week in, week out. So there's so much potential for Anmol to rise and shine in the near future. In addition to that, when we were speaking of Aryan Bhatia, we mentioned he won his first game and then bowed out against Dusty Boyer. But Anmol has just started the game 2 months back. So talk of learning and improving at some rapid speed.
I had absolutely no idea that the man has picked up, or the boy rather has picked up this sport just 2 months back. Doesn't look like it at all. Big ups to him. And I think the more he plays, the better he'll get. So another jewel for Indian pickleball. Man, I can't wait. Hopefully a couple of years from now hosting this same show with you. And we'd be the ones who were at ground zero today, seeing these guys blossom into such fantastic players.
It's such a delight to see Indian talent rising, shining, and truly the future very, very bright. And Arman Bhatia himself shared how his brother Aryan just started training 2 months back. He's right there on center court, cheering Anmol Ramchandani on. You can't get any more close, right?
Absolutely. And the fact that, of course, Indian talent, we both have a strong affinity to the Indian talent. But I also reckon the fact that we have so many international athletes coming into India, which is really offering them the right prize money, the right circumstances, the right opportunities for them to come. So this is literally becoming a global village of pickleball, and it's only going to get bigger and better. I can't wait. He's still not lost his focus. He's trying his best. As he slaps that serve.
Side out.
Maybe that's the difference in experience
8-3.
that I was talking about earlier.
Point. (9-3).
Slaps that one hard. Tom Evans there. Sends it long. Can Anmol Ramchandani mount a comeback from here?
3-9.
Unlikely. Doesn't give in. Still fighting. That fist pump. Putting everything in it. And you really need to applaud the 17-year-old. The fact that he's got it so far, we didn't see that. We really didn't see that with the experience that Tom Evans brings. Remarkable.
Yeah, at 17, I was still putting onions under my bed to get a fake fever so I could miss maths tests. And this guy here is absolutely annihilating it on center court, regardless of what the score says and might reflect. Trust me, that boy has a heart of gold. And he's fighting. You can see he's falling a little short. It's 1 point away from being knocked out. But no shame in being knocked out the way you've played, young lad.
Point game, man number 4, Mr. Evans. All right, don't worry about it.